All right, ladies and gentlemen, residents of Sheriff County, people in Red Granite, even. This one's for dads who are going through a situation like mine, maybe even some of you mothers out there. I'm not sure if you have this type of thing going on or not, but um, it's in relation to CPS and Department of Human Services, or DCFS, or whatever they want to call themselves, right? Department of Family and Children Services, in my custody of one of my children. So in August of 2023, the Washera County Courts and Human Services and all them decided they were going to remove me from having custody or placement or even access to my son. And this was done after what had been over a year in court fighting for custody and placement and things like that. I had a pre-existing custody order where it was basically joint custody, right? There was no child support order, none of that at this time. And I ended up in jail for, at this, honestly, I can't remember right now, but I'm going to get the records to prove I was in jail when this happened. So anyway, there was a placement hearing that was ordered to be taken place while I was in custody. I received a notification of it, and I asked the jail, was I going to be transported to court, or at least get video court so I could attend the hearing, right? They told me no. I was told no because it's a civil matter, it's a family matter, and as it's a civil matter, a family matter, and not criminal, the county or the jail is not obligated to transport me or give me access to court. That's on me to arrange, and that's on me to facilitate. Well, how do I do that while I'm in custody, incarcerated in the county jail, right? Anybody who's been in jail knows you have very limited access to talk to people. You can't get a hold of lawyers, and someone like me who could never afford an attorney had to rely on a public defender, and at the time, I couldn't get one. At the time, I was working a decent job, and I was outside the criteria to get a public defender, but I still couldn't afford a private attorney because they all wanted $5,000 to $10,000 to take my case. So, Washera County set this court date while I was in custody, knowing I was in custody. I wasn't able to meet the court date because I was in custody, and they gave the judgment, or awarded my ex or my son's mother whatever she wanted, which was primary placement and child support, which they then shackled me with a heavy amount of child support. They went off of what my earnings were before I was put in custody, and I was in the union back then, making $34.75 an hour, or $34.65 rather. I'm sorry. So at the time, my child support obligation was like $800 a month, which was insane. I felt like, even because I had my kid at the time too. So I just wanted to talk about this for a second because I feel like it was serious injustice, and I know there's a lot of people in this county, or there's other people in this county, I'm sure, that have gone through or are currently going through the same sort of thing. So, so recap quick, I had been in a custody situation or a placement battle with my ex-wife at the time, and it had been a long road. There was a lot of things said back and forth, a lot of things done back and forth, and none of it I felt like was above board. I mean, the judge at one point even made it clear that this was a good guy, bad guy situation, and my ex-wife was a prison guard at the time, and made ample note of that in court, kept bringing it up, and the judge even referenced the fact that I have a criminal record and she doesn't, and that she's an employee of the state. So in my opinion, it was clear that it was, you're the bad guy, so we don't want to help you at all because you've made bad choices. And she's such a great person because she works for the state. She's one of us, and you're not, essentially, is how it was presented to me. And that's my take on it. But so, yeah, they issued the court date knowing I couldn't make it. I asked to be facilitated in making it to the court date, and the jail denied me. I petitioned the court, and the court denied arranging me any transport. And I was just going through the things on CCAP, and this was on August 13th of 2023, I believe. And I missed court. You could look it up on CCAP, and you can see that it says Ricky Brown not in court. And you can also see that I did petition the court after the fact. They got the letter like a week later because I was unaware that I missed it, or not unaware, but I was unable to go because I was in custody and they wouldn't transport me. So I think this just kind of goes to show the lopsidedness in our county departments and the people who are supposed to be protecting our children or helping us facilitate relationships with our children, or just what's best for children, because they didn't act, I think, in what was accordance with what's best with my son. They acted in what was accordance with their own personal beliefs and how they felt like the situation should play out. And they didn't let me make it to court. They wouldn't allow me my day in court to protest against the change of custody and things of that nature. And then they shackled me with a heavy child support burden, which I hadn't been able to meet. And it just kept putting me in arrears and putting me in arrears and putting me in arrears. And now my arrears go up every 6 weeks, like $3,000. I don't know how this is even possible. They keep tacking on like interest on top of interest and all sorts of things, and it makes no sense. So if you're going through anything with Department of Human Services or Department of Child and Family Services or CPS or anything like that, I urge you to do what you can to get a lawyer, and get a lawyer that's not from this area or not tied in with any of the lawyers in this area, because they're not on your side. They're here, in my opinion, through my experience with them, to maintain the status quo, which is they have power and we don't. To put notches in the win column for them so they can present it to somebody in the future and say, look how well I did in this scenario, right? It's not about what's right. It's about what's right for them, and I don't appreciate it. So I just wanted people to be aware. This is one more thing with my experience with the county and the systems that are supposed to be in place to protect us or help us, and they're not. I'm going to be getting the documents and everything to support what I'm saying here, but I think I've done a good job in all my other videos of presenting facts and presenting my own personal experience and supporting it. So I hope at this point, people can just take it for, this is me relaying my experience. And when I do line up all the paperwork, I will be presenting that in a different video as well. So yeah, if you're dealing with them, get an attorney. Don't take their word for anything, because they will lie to you to affect the result they want. Then, and again, you can look it up on CCAP to see that I was in custody, but I wasn't there, and it was because they wouldn't let me be there. So be very careful. Mind your P's and Q's, and don't believe a single word they say to you, because they're going to lie to affect the result they get, so it shows them in a better light. They don't care about you. They don't care about the well-being of your kids. They care about looking effective so they can secure performance bonuses, or they can secure higher positions, or they can just keep their job. I don't know. But it's not about helping us. It's about helping them, and I hope everybody understands that.